Lesson number 7 is one of the most important. It's celebrating together. And it's not just a lesson, it's one of the most important lessons out of the 10 that I've learned. It's part of what I want to do when I recreate all of the business that I do as a one company. I want it to be celebrate together. It was when I first got to LA to shoot The Globe, and I was in a very, very different headspace. The majority of the darkest hours of my life had passed. I was in a new space completely in my personal life, in my marriage, in everything. Even the restaurant, we were doing to-go tasting menus, but things were different. I was different. It wasn't a fleeting change either. It had been something in my soul that had changed completely. And I was so grateful to be down there and so excited to just have the opportunity to do something like shoot a season of a show in LA. And the very first day, we had a blackout, and I had performed terribly. And they called me out on it. And once we get back from this super long wait, I had already called my wife and told her, like, I'm going to get sent home. It's no big deal. Love you. You know, at least I get to see you earlier. And I was really okay with being cut. You know, it was like no big deal. And then I made it. And then I won the next round, and I won the next round, and I won the next round. And then I was in the finals, and there was $50,000 total on the line. And there was, you know, Daniela Soto Inez was there, and they bring out Dominique Crin as the last judge that I'm going to cook for. And we had to make an entree and we had to make a dessert at the same time in 45 minutes. And I chose to cook duck breast for Dominique Crin, and they talked about it on the show. That's crazy. Why are you cooking duck for a French chef of that caliber? But I was just having so much fun. And the idea was, you know, cook a romantic dinner for two. And I just thought about, you know, my wife. And I was like, I'm going to make the best freaking dinner possible. Long story short, you know, the build up, the anticipation of the final round, you won. You are the Globe champion, the first ever Globe champion. Daniela Soto Inez said some incredibly kind words, both on and off camera, about my cooking, about how I had done throughout the competition. Dominique Crin had given me, you know, some of those things that she told me I will keep between her and I, because it's mine. It's my memory. I get to keep that. I don't need to brag about it. But some of the things that she said were so kind and so insightful and really inspired me to do better. And I'm buzzing. I'm so excited. I just won all this great stuff. And then they shoved me into a trailer because it's COVID. And I sat there by myself in the trailer, so bummed out. And I'm like, why am I so unhappy right now? And it was because I had realized right then at that point, I don't want to celebrate alone. I want to celebrate with people. I want to celebrate with my family. I want to celebrate with my friends. I want to celebrate with anyone who is celebrating. I don't need to have this on my own. I don't even want it on my own. I don't need it on my own. It was nothing about being alone that was good at that point in time. And I was dying to have my team around me, to have my wife around me, to have somebody around me so we could celebrate together. And it really was a big moment for me. And it took me a long time to actually finally look back on that moment and realize how pivotal that was and how crucial that was to my growth as a chef here at Localis. And when I came back, you know, keep in mind, this was before Localis had reopened. So as we reopened, my mindset was like, this isn't about just me anymore. And of course, you know, Localis is going to be Chris, you know, Barnum-Dann forever. And it has become very synonymous with who I am as a chef. But I realized, you know, over the course of 10 years that this doesn't happen with just me. And not only does it not just happen with me, but that doesn't mean that everyone here is a pawn. You know, just because I can't do all the work, you know, that's not the same thing. Celebrating together is about wanting every person to be as successful as you are, putting them at the same pay rate or close to it as you are, getting notoriety, getting opportunities, being able to do things that they haven't done at any other restaurant because they're not seen as somebody below me. They're all at the same level. And in return, I want to be treated like everyone else. There's something real about the old acronym that it's lonely at the top. And I totally understand that, because when you reach great success and you're not celebrating together, it's not really a whole lot to it. I think for this course, I'm going to cook a combination of the ingredients that I used for both of my dishes, dessert and savory, even though it's a savory dish. Of course, duck is one of my favorite things to cook on planet Earth. So of course, I'm going to be cooking up duck in multiple ways, especially the way that I did it there, which was duck breast. It's got to be some sort of turnip puree on there. I'm going to have to find a way to incorporate blue cheese, which I don't know how I'm going to do, but we're going to do it. And just excited to celebrate that moment and to celebrate that lesson learned and to celebrate that time in my life and what it's done for me for the past several years and what it's going to do for me in the future of Localis.